Hey, good morning, Bill Bergfeld. And I want to just talk about a kind of an unusual subject this morning. I want to talk about what I call it the habit of hustle. You know, it's really fascinating to me. And well, even though it's very common, we spend about 40 years training our brains to be high performance engines. And then we expect to just turn the key and have the engine shut down automatically, instantly. Here's what I found out. My engine keeps running. It seems like it's running all the time. In fact, I found out it idles probably at 5,000 RPMs. Only now it's housed in a quiet garage. I'm talking about here what I call the habit of hustle, and why our greatest professional strength might be our biggest retirement hurdle. Let me give you an example. I recently spoke with a good friend of mine, Harvey. His story it's a perfect mirror for many of us. Harvey was a successful small business owner, and for years, his brain was wired for constant problem solving, correcting things, and working long hours. When he retired, he thought he was ready to relax. But here's what happened. Within about 30 days, maybe a little bit longer, Harvey was managing his household like he was the chief executive officer. He was firing out orders every direction. He was making daily task lists for his wife, and uh, he was obsessing over investments that he really had no control over, and he was watching trends like it was his responsibility to change things if investment started heading the wrong way. When Harvey and I talked, he told me, he said, let's see if I can remember. It may not be exactly how I said it, but here's what I think he said. This is paraphrasing. Harvey said, I thought I was relaxing, but really, I was replacing the stress management that I had at work with kind of a mirage like stress that I was experiencing in my retirement years. Harvey fell into the trap of confusing business with meaning. He brought his hustle into a season that it was supposed to be meant for peace. So why is it so hard to stop this hustle thing? And believe me, hey, I'm the worst problem here. Okay, it's hard to stop because hustle isn't just a schedule. It's an identity. Let me give you some points here. Let's talk about just a second the dopamine loop. We're addicted to the win of getting things off of our to-do list. We're addicted to the win of fixing a problem. We're addicted to the win. We're we're supposed to be winners at everything we do. That's the dopamine loop. Let me give you another idea here. I think when our engines are running full speed, we fear the quietness, the stillness. If in our minds, if we aren't doing something, we're worried about, have I lost my value? Have I totally become unnecessary? That's the fear of stillness. And then one more. How about, let's call it muscle memory? After all these years of work, our brain, whether we understand it or not, our brain is kind of like a muscle that's been lifting heavy weights for our whole career, 40 plus years maybe. It doesn't know how to pick up and hold things that are as light as a feather. It's this muscle memory thing. We've got to find something difficult to do, or we feel unnecessary. So I want to offer this as a solution. I call it shifting from the hustle mode into a harmony mode. So here's what I suggest. If you're like Harvey, how is it that you can break the habit? Here's 3 strategies I think that can help you downshift without stalling out in the whole process. Number 1, let's try this. Define productive differently. When we were working in our career, productive meant production. It meant output. In retirement, redefining productivity as a presence rather than a product. There's the redefinition. A productive day might be maybe a 2-hour lunch with a friend, or finally finishing a book that we started reading months ago. If it nourishes your soul, it's productive. And again, defining productive differently, shifting from productivity to a point of presence, just aware. That's number one. Number two, I want to call it the slowing down process. The slow morning protocol. Hustle starts for us. Hustle starts for us the moment we're awake and our feet hit the floor. That's when hustle starts. We've got to learn to break the habit of banning management tasks like checking the news, reading the stock market reports, or immediately going into our email and reading our email messages. We've got to learn how to ban that, stop it, at least during the first 90 minutes of the day. By doing so, we're slowing down. We're using that slow morning protocol. We're reclaiming that time. That maybe we could go for a walk. We could work on a hobby that we've always wanted to start on, or maybe we can just sit and meditate and pray. That's protocol. I like to sit down and changing my protocol. I like to sit down and actually fill my cup of coffee and just rehash the day yesterday and think about what maybe I could do different today that's more not productive, but in the mode, in the presence. Slowing down that morning protocol. My third suggestion is this. Think about volunteering or maybe mentoring someone. Sometimes we just need a place to take the energy that we have and put it towards a new task, a new point. Instead of micromanaging your spouse or your stock market portfolio or anything, I suggest maybe that you find an organization that needs your level of help and volunteer. Give that hustle a new home, a home where you're actually contributing to something, where you're actually needed. And it can kind of become a sanctuary. That's kind of pleasant. Retirement isn't the end of, it's not the end of your value time. It's the beginning of your value freedom. And what I want to encourage you here is don't let the habits of your past steal the peace that you're hoping for in the present. Like my friend Harvey, like he learned, real fulfillment, it comes when you finally figure out, when you finally learn when to engage and when to rest. And that's probably the best advice I can give you. Hey, thanks for watching. If you felt that the habit of hustle lately, drop me a comment below and let me know how you're learning to slow things down, enjoying retirement. Have a great day. God bless.